I had completely kept it hidden because I always felt that unless I do something about it, just saying that I want to be an actor, for him it's going to be like
I
ye
can
kaun sa
relate.
shauq
I can relate.
naya aaya hai, haan. Hrithik Roshan at Mami.
Wow.
He had seen the film and he just couldn't say it. And I think that's when you see a good film, right? You cannot express it in words,
That's
right?
very true.
So he was there and then he said, it's stuck in my throat. Come, give me a hug. And then
God.
yeah, he gave, and he has such beautiful eyes.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Oh God. I think it's the best time. With OTT, with the level of acceptance of all kind of cinema, where you don't need to remake a film for somebody in the North Belt to see a film in the southern part of India, from the southern part of India.
Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. Today we have with us a young talent with us. You've probably seen him in a recent movie last year, Girls Will Be Girls, and we have all fell in love with this boy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the talented actor and my dear friend, Kesav Binoy Kiron, to News 18 Showsha. Keshav, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir. How sweet of you. What a lovely introduction.
Thank you. That's the least I can do. But Keshav, first things first, congratulations. It was a fantastic debut, I may say so. A fairy tale for many, if I can say that. Girls Will Be Girls. What a movie! And tell me all about it. From the year you signed the picture, from the year of shooting, did you anticipate it to blow up this way?
Not a bit, not a tiny bit. In fact, it all started in 2022, in the month of February, when I was in my third year of computer science engineering in Jaipur. And I thought to myself that, I've been completely focusing on theatre in my college time. So why not do something outside of it? Because I've always wanted to be an actor and I knew that that's where my attempt and trial is going to be, but I didn't know when. So I thought might as well start now that I'm away from my family, so I can, start auditioning.
Auditioning, yeah.
And which is when one of my friend from the same theatre group had put out a casting call on WhatsApp, just forwarded a message. And it said, this is a casting call from the casting director of Life of Pi. So that was the only, name that I was like, okay, that sounds big. And my friend said, ye sab scam hota hai, paise mangenge. So I said, when they'll ask for money, I'll back out then. Till then, let's see.
Of course.
And it started with that, and cut to 8 months, I was locked for the project.
Wow.
Where every step, where I was called to Delhi, I was called to Mumbai for audition, for chemistry tests, for workshops. I thought, bas itna hi hai. This was my first proper audition, and I reached till this stage. I'm very happy.
That's it.
Yeah, and I used to forget. I used to archive the chat of the casting director because I didn't want to be reminded again and again that it's been a rejection. But yeah, it just
happened.
It just happened.
History is history, right? Like rest is totally history, and today we are here talking about it.
Today we are here.
Absolutely, no doubt. You said you wanted to explore this, and it was a little secret that you had kept, right? What were your reaction from your parents? As far as I know, by the way, we're both Mallu boys from Kerala and born and raised in Bombay, of course. But what was your reaction?
So, with my father, I had completely kept it hidden because I always felt that unless I do something about it, just saying that I want to be an actor, for him it's going to be like ye kaun sa shauq.
I can relate.
Naya aaya hai, haan. And with my mother, I used to hint because again she used to come for my performances, theatre performances when I was in school, and I told her that I'm going to. There's this audition that I've been giving, and Dad got to know much later. Mom has always been supportive because I think she's an interior designer, so there's that artist in her. Yeah, she's like, जो अच्छा लग रहा है वो करो. That's more important. Dad is more academic oriented, and but both of their reactions were so good. I mean, now that my father dropped me here, and they've been so supportive.
Very true. I understand. How was it with Ali and Richa on the set? And tell me, like post the success of the film, how has your camaraderie been with them?
I think on the set there were very less interactions, and thanks to Richa ma'am for that, because she made sure that we as newcomers don't get intimidated, because of course we have been fans of both of their work.
No doubt.
And so they never talked about acting, about the film on set. In fact, they were my neighbors. Like, we were staying in the same resort, and they were my little neighbors. And then I remember one day Alisa just knocked on my door. He's like, Bahara. And I recognized his voice. And he's like, Ye le, ek gift laya hu. And then he gave me a hoodie and some blueberry pies, which he thought in Dehradun it's very good. Yeah, and they've been pampering us since then. We got to spend a lot of time together at Sundance when we were staying in the same place, same house, where we were cooking breakfast for each other. And that's when I got to interact with both of them more. And now it's just like, even though they might not like me calling them, they're like godfather, godmother.
Absolutely, no doubt, no doubt. But tell me, how has life changed for you personally? You know, post Girls Will Be Girls, do you get a lot of attention from girls these days?
I can't say no completely, but life after Girls Will Be Girls, more than that, I would say life kind of changed after the release of Girls Will Be Girls on Amazon Prime.
Of course.
Because 1 year after the film, it had gone to Sundance and it was traveling the world. But nothing really had changed back, at least here in India.
Yes, of course.
So even for auditions, I was still taking rounds of Aram Nagar. Now I can say that people in the industry have seen it, or they know of the film, even if they haven't. So there is a value right now to that, and I've been getting some good auditions, and I've been able to meet people.
Who's the best person who's that one star you met that you always wanted to meet after this success?
After the success? The big man is, I've not met him yet. I don't think we need to name him Shah Rukh Khan sir.
Of course.
But Hrithik Roshan at Mami.
Wow.
He had seen the film and he just couldn't say it. And I think that's when you see a good film, right? You cannot express it in words,
That's
right?
very true.
So he was there and then he said, it's stuck in my throat, come give me a hug. And then
God.
he gave, and he has such beautiful eyes.
Oh yeah, yes.
Oh God. And also Meera Nair.
Yes.
At Sundance, she was the jury. And these two have, I think, the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And she was also so warm. And then Rajkumar Rao sir had texted on Instagram.
Wow.
That he really loved the work. And it's all so surreal that I have to still pinch myself to accept
do you still feel that you're living a dream?
I do. I very much do.
Tell me, life post Girls Will Be Girls. Now that you're done with your character Sri, how do you want to break out from that stereotypical mama's boy?
Life after that has been. After the shoot, I really wanted to learn more about the craft because I had done collegiate level theatre, which at that time you think, oh, you know everything, but it is not. So there was a lot of unlearning on the set of Girls Will Be Girls, and that's when I figured that if I want to take it seriously, I need to learn something solid about this craft. And I did 2 very good workshops, Navrasa Sadhana in Irinjalakuda, very
Kerala,
close to where you are.
Yes.
And then Adi Shakti recently in Pondicherry. And these 2 workshops really helped me for my second film.
Oh, okay.
Which was an American production, and that I got it because of Girls Will Be Girls again.
Of course.
There was a screening at IFLA in LA.
In LA.
And the director, writer, producer, he had sent me an email. He reached out to me on Instagram and on WhatsApp from the theatre.
Possible.
From the theatre.
Wow.
Because he had a script and he wanted me to audition for it. And it was a 28-year-old man. And I just couldn't believe it that you saw an 18-year-old version of me. How do you think that I could fit for a 28-year-old when I'm 24 right now? And he said, no, I just can see it. And the role is it's based on a true life incident.
Story, yes.
And it's about a young IT guy who has a secret gambling addiction.
Okay.
And he kidnaps a family friend's daughter. And it's about how the kidnapping goes horribly wrong.
Oh, okay.
So I have to play a criminal. And then I had more questions and doubts.
Quite a change.
Yeah, quite a change from a mama's boy to a criminal.
That's how you break a stereotype.
Yeah, and it took a lot of convincing from the director's side for me to get on board of this project. But thanks to these workshops, I was able to do this because for a role like Shri, I knew that world. I knew students, and I've seen people like every character in that in the story. But this was completely new. I didn't even know how to play cards, and then.
Did you learn some gambling
I
tricks?
did. Thankfully, not with money, but there are these poker apps and all.
Of course.
So I was playing Teen Patti, I was playing poker and all that sorts. And a lot of research really helped. So, I think that really helped me to explore a complete new side. And I figured that acting is the only way that I can, learn more about something.
True. That's very true.
In life.
That's very true. Usually what happens is girls will be girls, and also the film, we don't know the title yet. So it's still undisclosed if I'm not wrong,
It is
right?
Sanvi.
It's Sanvi?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now that we know it. Thank you for letting me know. But do you think, have you thought of how would you transition into, or do you want to get into the commercial side of the business as well?
Definitely. I don't want to limit myself to anything. In fact, not just, because whatever has happened, I never saw that coming. So now if I put some boundaries to it, that would be limiting myself and the plan of the universe, I believe. And I definitely want to do other languages also. I have heard a script in Malayalam. I have auditioned for Tamil.
Wow.
I have auditioned for a Telugu film. So, I want to do everything, anything and everything. Very selfish that way.
Absolutely, no doubt. But I think it's also a very good time, right, Kesav, wherein we are seeing a lot of, both of us would know Malayalam cinema these days are getting amazing response, right? But we know that there were still classics back then.
Yeah.
But now, slowly, as the language barriers are vanishing, probably it's all becoming a pan-Indian cinema. Probably, the way it should have been probably before as well.
Right.
You as an actor, what do you feel about this current timing of yours?
I think it's the best time. With OTT, with the level of acceptance of all kind of cinema, where you don't need to remake a film for somebody in the North Belt to see a film in the southern part of India, from the southern part of India. And otherwise, I think a place like Kerala has always been watching Hindi films.
True, yes.
And but every industry, I believe, Kannada industry, Telugu industry, Tamil industry, the flow is beautiful of not just the films reaching the region, but also the talent and the crew. So I think there's honestly has never been a better time for a newcomer like me.
No doubt. Where do you, if I have to ask you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What would you say? What's the plan of action in your head? Not that anything works according to our plan, but still I just want to know.
So one thing from Girls Will Be Girls which really stuck to me was in places like, when I was traveling with the film in Japan, to Egypt, to US, the common response there was that we didn't know Indian films, there are Indian films like this also without, the action, loud music, dancing. And they were tearing up when they were saying that. So that felt like a much more valuable compliment than if somebody just personally compliments my work in the film. I think I would want to hear more of that.
No, right? Absolutely.
So, anything along those lines, and definitely multiple languages, like say Malayalam, because I've grown up, if today I'm watching a Malayalam film, tomorrow I'm watching a Hindi film. Right. Now there is many more languages, so I definitely want to do something there, here, and
no doubt.
I'm young, I have a lot of energy, so
bring it on, right?
Bring it on.
You spoke about people tearing up as well, and one of the most viral videos we saw after the screening of Girls Will Be Girls was when Konkana ma'am, Diya Mirza, all of them kind of had it was a very overwhelming feeling for them as well, in a good way.
Yeah.
They were all emotional. They were really happy to see the kind of product that you guys have made out. What was your reaction when you saw all these kind of reactions from such stalwarts in the industry?
Too surreal. I mean, I can't even describe it in words because I still remember the exact place I was in the theatre hall. I was seeing their reactions, how they were tearing up, and my heartbeat was so fast. And then Diya ma'am she gave a hug, and I remember everything stopped for me.
did the background score?
मैं मुंबई बोल रहा हूँ केशव से. that moment for me. But again, Kunkana ma'am, I mean, not just her acting work, I'm a big fan of her direction work as well.
Of course.
And yeah, it just means so much, and that, yeah.
It's just living the moment, right?
Just living in the moment, yeah.
That's very true. What's that one thing probably, during your shoot or probably from the film as well, that has stayed with you and that for sure will stay with you? You were all of 22 back then, right? So, a memory that will be there with you even when you're 40.
I think it has to be our casting director, Dilip Shankar sir. So, we had some workshops with him, and I consider him my official first guru in acting. And his just even the conversations or his exchanges, it is crystal clear in my head, though I have it in written, but everything he said about the smallest, it could be the smallest thing, like, on set, make sure you really have comfortable shoes, because, I mean, this is the most vague thing that I can say, but from that to something much more deeper, like say that, I hope you don't get success way too early, because it can
hit you.
Yeah, and it doesn't teach you a lot of things. So everything that he said, I think, is what is going to stay with me always.
Absolutely. What you remind me of is, what was the kind of advice that probably your parents gave you once they saw the kind of success that you were receiving? Was there any piece of conversation that had back home, probably, that they told you what humility can do to you?
I think it was that success is in consistency. It is not in one film or two films, and it is in consistency, and that universe has been very kind to you. Always acknowledge that. Don't think that you are the one who's done all of this, which is very true. And you have to make sure now your hard work is the one that takes you forward from here. You've got the start. Now make sure your hard work does the talking.
No doubt, no doubt. Tell me one thing. How has the meaning of success changed pre Girls Will Be Girls and post Girls Will Be Girls?
Like I said, I think that success is in consistency. One big film or two big films doesn't necessarily mean success. It is in the consistency and also in championing others, which is what I learned from Ali sir and Richa ma'am. That for me earlier, even when auditioning, when I got to know they were the producers, what I thought was that they are the actors and they need some secondary or tertiary characters, and I'm auditioning for that. But then when I got to know that they're not in the film, they're just the producers because they love the film, they love the story. I think I really want to do that later ahead in my career. That I champion newcomers.
Wow.
I champion good stories and put them on a global level.
That's a very wise thing to say. How is your camaraderie with Preeti? You guys were appreciated throughout the film. Do you guys? How is the friendship post the release and the success as well?
We are such close friends, and yeah, there's a daily exchange of 20-30 memes on Instagram. But other than that, I think since the only person, if I may say, who has had a similar journey, of course, she's been winning a lot of awards and everything. So happy for her. But the person who I can share my thoughts, or even she can share hers, is Preeti. And we both understand that, know that. So whenever we feel low, even though it might look like a very happy time, it might be a premiere, but there's something that's
making you nervous,
making you nervous or discomfort, then I know that the only person who will understand this without saying ki just be grateful, be happy, is Preeti.
No doubt, no doubt. What about your other Mallu counterpart in the film, Kani ma'am?
Oh God, yeah.
How is she?
She's again such a gem of a person. There's so much to learn from her. On the set, again, our interactions was limited, but then again with promotions and everything.
Of course.
Just the way her principles in life is so much to look up to. And even as an actor, there is so much. In fact, these workshops where she has actually done these.
Wow.
And when she had done it, that was like, okay, now I want to do what she did.
Absolutely, no doubt.
yeah, a very sweet, gentle person, and yeah.
Great. Keshav, before I move into a new segment, who is that one star that you look up to? We all know the answer, right?
Isn't Bandra?
Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. Yes, no doubt, no doubt. If you ever meet him, what would be the one thing that you have always thought of telling him?
This has been my life's biggest crisis. If I meet him, I do not know what to say. I do not know how to address him because I cannot call him sir, because I call a lot of people sir. So I cannot, I don't know. I want to ask him, what can I call you? And I don't think I'll be able to speak. I really don't. And similar for Mohanlal sir. Yeah, I mean, these two I've grown up watching and been such ardent fans. I can't even.
You can't even put it in words.
I
right?
can't put it in words. It's
I understand.
injustice.
You've just started off, Keshav. You just started off. There's a long way to go, and I'm pretty sure you will do really well. Keshav, before I leave you, I have a few questions which I hope are a little interesting as well.
Okay.
And it's kind of a rapid fire, so you have to be a little quick.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So here we go. If you have to survive without a day without Wi-Fi or food, which one would you give up?
Wi-Fi.
Okay. If you were a superhero, what would be the most useless superpower be?
Useless superpower?
Yeah.
Oh God. This is... there's so much pressure to be funny.
No, you don't have to. Just speak your mind. It's okay.
I really can't... Superpower to be... Sorry.
It should be useless superpower.
Useless superpower.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be... I really can't think of anything. What would you say?
I don't know, just sit and just laze around probably.
Yeah, yeah.
To be able to do that, the luxury to be able to do that.
The luxury to be able to... Nice.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the most weirdest thing you've Googled at 3 a.m.?
Weirdest?
Weirdest thing you've Googled at 3 a.m.?
At 3 a.m. What time is the sunrise the next day morning? Today, in fact.
You did?
Because I thought that I'm not been getting vitamin D a lot. So I thought, subah ka sunlight lunga. Yeah, I did that today morning.
Okay. If someone made a movie about your life, what genre would it be? Comedy, action, or unintentional horror?
I think it would be comedy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could swap lives with any fictional character for a day, who would it and how fast would you regret?
How fast would I?
Regret.
Fictional character. I think Shri. That would be interesting. Yeah. Going back in time there.
So Keshav, what is that one strange talent that you have secretly that no one knows about?
I think I can do handstand and then alternate shoulder tap while doing a handstand. Which I think is cool, right?
Shall we make you do it?
With this?
Oh, okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. If you had to be stuck in an elevator with a historical figure, who would you pick?
Historical as in who's not...
Yeah, probably not.
Irfan Khan sir.
Wow. Okay. We just want to get him back any way we can,
yeah.
right? What's the most ridiculous excuse you've ever used to get out of something?
Stomach pain. Bad. Yesterday's biryani has not been reacting well. Always works.
Okay. If your phone could only autocorrect one word incorrectly, like what would it be?
Luck.
Probably on that note, Keshav, thank you so much, man. It was a really fun conversation with you, and all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was so much fun.
Yes.